What is going on, everyone? Today I want to talk about 10 intermediate chords, very important chords that everybody should know. But rather than just giving you a bunch of shapes to learn, I want to put them all together in a chord progression, inspired by a classic jazzy turnaround. And for the sake of today's lesson, we're going to stick to the key of C major. Tab and music notation of everything I'll be playing, chord positions and patterns are available on my Patreon page. You might want to check the link in the description below. And if it's your first time on the channel, don't forget to subscribe. And if you enjoy this type of videos, guys, make sure to hit the like button. Thanks a lot for that. And now let's get started. The first chord that we are going to play is a C major 7. We are in the key of C major, so this is going to be the first degree. Now, how do we play this? It's root on fret 3 of the A string, then 5, 4, 5 on the next 3 strings. Okay, the first finger is not really playing a bar, to be fair, because we don't need the first string, so you can just stop there. But if you want to repeat the 5th of the chord on the first string, you can even bar everything until the first string. That's completely up to you. After this chord, we are gonna play C sharp diminished 7th. The name might look a little bit difficult, but at the end of the day, guys, starting from a C major 7, you're going to have 2 fingers, the 3rd and the 4th, that you don't have to move. You bring your 2nd on fret 4, C sharp on the A string, and then the 1st goes on fret 3 of your G string like this. So obviously at first this will involve a little bit of, muscle memory and muscle memory exercises for your fingers. When I play the C major 7, I keep my thumb behind the neck like this, but then when I play my C sharp diminished 7th, which is a passing chord, by the way, I'm gonna keep my thumb here on top. Okay, that's just a habit that I've got. And then from here, because it's a passing chord, where is it going to? It's going to D minor 7, which we'll be playing in this rather jazzy voicing because it's an omit 5. So the notes are 1, 3, 7, 3, meaning there is no 5. We're playing the frets 5, 3, 5, 6 on the same strings as before, okay? And then from here, we're gonna play a dominant 7 chord, a G7 chord. But we're gonna do it with a root on the A string. So fret 10 of the A string, and then we play 10, 9, 10, 8. And the fingering that I use is 3, 4, actually 3, 2, 4, 1, like this. Okay, guys, you might know already a C7 in first position. This is exactly the same chord. I'm just sliding it all the way up to fret 10 so that my root is the note G. So that's a G7. Okay, I'm playing a 2, 5. Okay, D minor 7 is 2. And G7 is 5. We are still in the key of C major, right? Then from here, I'm gonna play an E minor 7. This is a classic E minor 7 chord coming from an A shape, A minor 7, bar on the 7th fret, fret 9 on the D, fret 8 on the B, like this. For the sake of this pattern that we're gonna play, I'm just gonna play 4 strings here, so I'm not gonna include the first string, but like we said before for the C major 7, feel free to do it like a bar until the first string if you like it better. And then again, from here, we are going to another dominant 7 chord. This time, we're talking about an A7. And the way we play it is either this or this. So we basically play this, again, jazzy position if you want, where we are playing the root on fret 5 of the E string. We skip the A string and then we play 5, 6, 5 on the next 3 strings. So my fingering is 1, 2, 4, 3, but you can also play thumb for the root and then this diminished triad if you want with 1, 3, 2 like this. Okay. Again, there's E minor 7 going to E7. However you want to play it is another 2, 5, but this time the 2, 5 is leading to D minor 9. Which is just a variation of a D minor 7. It's very common in jazz, in bossa nova, to play the same chord that we were playing before, like this or like this, effectively as a minor 9. Okay, so that's a D minor 9. The notes are 1, 3, 7, 9. So again, this is an omit 5. You would get the 5th here if you want to play it with the 5th, but I suggest you to play it with the 9th on top. And the frets that I'm playing are 5, where the root note is, then 3, 5, and 5, like that. Okay. From here I go to my final dominant 7 chord, which is my G13. So instead of playing a G7 with the same shape as the A7 before, okay, I'm actually moving now the 5th, I'm removing the 5th and I'm sliding it up to the 6th, which is called 13th, so that we are learning also a few extended chords, not just 7th chords, and we get this G7 13 or just G13, okay? From here, I'm applying a substitution. This substitution is called triton substitution, so I'm replacing this G7 with the triton, which is gonna be a D flat 7 chord, and I'm playing it with the 9th, like this, okay, to create some tension, and this is going to be G13, D flat 9. I play this D flat 9 with second finger on the 4th fret of the A string, then first finger on the 3rd of the D, and then I use my ring finger to play 4 on the G and B like that, but you can also use 2 fingers if you like, okay? And then from here, I'm gonna go to my C major to get back home, but instead of playing the same C major 7 voicing that we played at the beginning, I'm playing a C major 9. And before reaching this major 9, I'm actually gonna play just a C6 9 and hammering on the pinky on fret 4 of the G string later, so that I create this nice embellishment on the G string, going from the 6th degree to the major 7th, like that. So first I play a C6 9, frets 3, 2, 2, 3, nice chord to learn, very Brazilian, very bossa nova. Okay, and then from here to a more classic and jazzy, if you like, C major 9 like this. Okay, so all of these chords can be played one next to each other, so they can all make a nice jazzy chord progression, if you like, in the key of C major. Okay, so let's recap them again, because in this way we can notice that we are looking at a few -7 chords, but we are playing them as 1, 3, 7, 3 like this. This is a classic jazzy voicing for a D-7. We are also playing the E-7 in a more classic bar chord shape, and we are playing the D-7 that we were playing before, moving the pinky back so that we get a D-9, like we said. We are also looking at a few dominant 7 chords, a G7 here in C shape from the caged, so we're moving this position all the way up here, which is nice, and we're looking at this A7, which you can play with 2 different fingerings, that's completely up to you. The same G7 that we played before, we played as an extension as a 13th here, okay? And then we also play another dominant 7 chord extended to the 9th this time. It's a D flat 9, the triton of this G13, okay? So again, first chord, C major 7, then passing chord, C sharp diminished 7th, okay? Then D-7, G7, okay, then E-7, A7, D-9, G7 13, D flat 9, and now coming back home with the C6 9, hammering on to C major 9. Okay, how I said I don't want to give you just a bunch of shapes, I also want to give you a sort of practice routine, how to practice them. These chords are extremely popular in jazz, R&B, funk, blues, a little bit everywhere really. So I want you to put them all together with a nice timing. So the first thing to do is just 1 strum per chord, so that you get familiar with all of the chord changes and the chord shapes if you've never played them before, or even if you just want to review them. And we can count 2 beats per chord. So if I play the first 4, they would be like 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's repeat them again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Feel free to pause the video, practice them, and then play along with me again. The next 4 chords to play are 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we play 2 beats per chord, E-7 2 beats, A7 2 beats, D-9 2 beats, but then the G7 and the D flat 9, actually it's a G7 13 we said, and D flat 9, they take 1 beat each, like 3, 4, just like that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So again, you need to make sure that you've got these chord changes under your fingers, and you need to make sure to check out whether you need to play with your thumb behind the neck, like E minus 7, or with your thumb up here, like A7, or maybe A7 like that. Thumb behind the neck again for a D minor 9, which requires a little bit of a stretch here. Then thumb stays behind for the G13, but I keep it all the way up in a very funky way for my D flat 9. And then finally I chromatically go down to C with the second finger so that I can play this nice strum with an embellishment where you play the pinky slightly later and you can hear the 6th going up to the major 7. Okay, the voicing is either 1, 3, 6, 9 for the C6-9, obviously, and then 1, 3, major 7, 9 for the major 9 chord. So that's a C major 9. So playing it all together, it goes like 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 if you want to keep counting. So it's a nice etude to put them all together and make sure that you really practice them in something musical. This could be a nice warm-up exercise when you want to practice some chord shapes. And if you become really familiar with this key, you can obviously move it to any other key using the same shapes, or maybe looking for the same chords with different shapes, changing the root note from the A string to the E string or vice versa. Now let's play it once more again, a little bit slower. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now, once you get familiar with these shapes, you might want to start applying a specific pattern. And something that I really like because of the vibe of these chords is a sort of mix of arpeggio and pluck. So finger picking on a couple of strings and using the pick for a single note, actually 2 single notes on the A and on the D strings. Okay, so if the root is on the A string, like a C major 7, what you play is pick on the A string, pick on the D string, and then with middle and ring finger you can pluck together simultaneously the next 2 strings, like using a little bit of shuffle feel, counting in eighth notes 1 and 2 and, okay, 1 and 2. Alright, then you do the same on the next chord, like 3 and 4, and when you put them all together, they sound like 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Okay, you do the same on the next 2 chords, 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Let's try the first 4 together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and next 3 chords. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, and so the pattern is the same if the root note happens to be on the E string. I'm just gonna change where I play the first stroke with my pick. So for instance on the A7 I'm gonna play E string, skip the A, D string, still with a pick, and then pluck as usual, middle and ring finger on G and D string like that. There's also a good way to practice the hybrid picking technique, why not? Then after this D minor 9, because we've got 2 chords which take 1 beat each, I'm gonna have to play root note on the E string with my thumb on the G13, and then 3 strings simultaneously, okay, played with my pick, middle and ring on the G and B, like that. Then I go to D flat 9 and I do the same, pick on the A string this time, and then simultaneously D, G and D strings plucked together. So still with a shuffle feel, 3 and 4 and then when I head down to C for the C6-9, which becomes a major 9, I'm gonna play root note on the A string with the pick, and then the usual pluck on D, G and B, but this time doing also the usual hammer on, like that. So slowly the ending goes like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3, 4. Let's do it once more. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3, 4. Now, all together slowly, again, feel free to practice, pause this video, practice a little, and then give it a go along with me, along to this video again. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 3 4. Once more. 1 2 3 4. Obviously, guys, feel free to play it at any tempo you feel comfortable with. Obviously, practice with the metronome as well. Once you become more comfortable with these chords, you can give it a go a little faster. Again, remember that the full tab and arrangement with the music notation for all of these chords and the patterns that we played are available on my Patreon page. If you enjoyed this video, guys, make sure to hit the like button, and if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. Let me know in the comments if you already knew all of these chords or if you've learned something new and if you'd like to see more of these lessons. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a wonderful day.